Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever. If you have a video game console, eventually you'll have to say goodbye to her. My condolences, by the way. Yes, I refer to all video game consoles with the female pronoun. Sometimes it's our own fault. We might have dropped her, spilled some liquid on her, or she's just gotten too old and couldn't carry on anymore. With the consoles on this list, however, it's not our fault. They've just been poorly designed. In that case, you can only hope to have gotten a good warranty with her. Let's start with the first console on our list, the Xbox 360 FAT, Fault Red Ring of Death. Named after Windows' blue screen of death, this fault cost Microsoft $1 billion. Yes, that's 1 with 9 zeros. The Red Ring of Death can in theory appear on every version of the Xbox 360, yet on the Xbox 360 Slim and Special Edition, they're so rare we can't consider those consoles to be unreliable. The Xbox 360s we can consider to be unreliable are the FAT versions, especially those with the Xenon and Sapphire motherboards. So, what caused the red ring of death on these consoles? Turning them on and off too often? Nope, I am not kidding. Although a video game console isn't turned on and off nearly as frequently as, for example, a mobile phone, there are those among us who turn their consoles on and off over 5 times a day. This caused the cracking of the solder joints of the GPU due to the stress it's got from heating up and cooling off every time you turn her on and off again. Console 2, the original Xbox, referred to in the past as the Xbox, problem leaking capacitors. Most of the time when you buy a used console and it has never been opened up, that's a good thing, meaning it hasn't been tampered with. Yet when this happens to an OG Xbox in 2024 or later, you should start a panic. Even when everything still works, which is very unlikely by the way, open it up immediately and remove the clock capacitor and replace some other capacitors that are certainly going to leak. As for the OG Xbox, it is not about if those capacitors are going to leak, but when. Because they are going to leak. When they leak, they'll spill liquid all over the motherboard and make your Xbox as useful as a literal box. Console 3, the PlayStation 3 FAT. Problem, the yellow light of death. As you've probably noticed by now, not only are people not very original when naming these hardware faults, but big-boned consoles seem to have a lot of problems, which is true, ignoring some exceptions of course, although not being as well known or notorious as the Red Ring of Death. It was still an issue many PS3 FAT owners experienced. The yellow light of death indicates a hardware failure. I know, what a surprise. To be slightly more specific, a general hardware failure on the motherboard. It could, for example, be the power supply or even the Blu-ray drive. More often than not in early models, it's caused by an unreliable GPU. Console 4, the PlayStation 4. Problem, the blue light of death. The difference between the blue light of death and the other whatever of deaths is that this problem isn't something that only happens with the first version of the PS4. It doesn't matter whether you own a PS4, PS4 Slim or PS4 Pro, you're not safe from the blue light of death. When you turn on your PS4, the indicator light of the on and off button is blue and should in normal circumstances become white. It being blue at first means your PlayStation is verifying whether everything works as it should inside your system. When everything works as it should, it turns white and you can use your PlayStation. When it stays blue, I hope you still have a valid warranty for her. If your PlayStation turns on and off again, then that's basically the same thing as and you're screwed either way. Don't worry PS4 owners, it doesn't stop there.
The OG model of the PS4 comes with an additional issue. This issue is even more common than the blue light of death, even though this only appears on the OG model of the PS4. The issue is HDMI problems. The solder joints on the HDMI port of the OG PS4 might get loose, which could happen to a lot of consoles, yet from all the PS4s, the OG model has the most fragile HDMI ports. Our fifth contender is, oh sorry, I'll be ending this video now. If you are wondering why most of these consoles are from this century, well, like my dad used to say, they don't make them like they used to. He said that a lot back in the day, although I don't think he was ever talking about video game consoles when he said that. Whatever, let me know in the comments whichever console you found very reliable or unreliable. Certainly don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe even hit that bell notification while you're at it. Hopefully I'll see some of you next time.